Hi guys, today we're going to talk about finding slope from a graph. So here I have a graph pulled up and the question is, what is the slope of this graph? So if you remember that slope, which is represented by the letter M, is always rise over run. So when you're talking about slope, it's how much you go up and down over how much you go left to right. So we're going to take this graph and we're going to look at two possible points on the graph. So there's a point right here that we can see, and it doesn't matter what our second point is, just find a point that you can clearly see what the values are. So I found 2 points here, and we're going to do rise over run. So when you start at the first point, we're going to work from left to right. So this point right here, to get to the second point, over here, how much did we rise, or how much do we have to go up? Well, we have to go up from the 20 to the 30, so we've gone up 10. And then how much do we run? Run is the side-to-side movement, so we go from here at 0 all the way over to 40. So we've gone from 0 to 40. So we rose 10 and we run 40. So 10 over 40, but we can reduce that to 1/4. So the slope of this one is 1/4. And that's what you would put in for your answer here on IXL, 1/4. And notice in the directions it says we have to write it as a fraction, whether it's a regular fraction, an improper fraction, or an integer, which means you cannot put it in as a decimal. You click submit and it says, good job, we have solved the problem. So here's a second example that I want you guys to work at to make sure you have an understanding of how this works. So here's the graph, and we're going to find the slope. So what letter represents slope, guys? That's right, M stands for slope. The letter M always represents slope, and we'll talk about that more when we get into the format of equations. And what is the equation, or what is the way we find a slope from the graph? Yeah, we find the slope by finding the rise over the run. So we have rise over run. So now the next thing we want to do is find 2 points on this graph where we can count the rise over the run. So there's a point right there that we can count. And I see, we're looking up here. Remember, it doesn't matter which point we find as long as it's clear. There's one. Notice we could have also found this point too. It doesn't matter which 2 points you use as long as you can clearly see what the values of those 2 points are. So let's say we're going to use this point here and we're going to use this point way over here. What is the rise from this point up to this point? In other words, how many did we go up? So you notice that it goes from 20 to 80. So 80 minus 20 means that it rose 60, a value of 60. So the rise right here is 60. Now, what is the run? Well, you notice we're going here. Oops, sorry, kind of went off track. We go from here straight over, and that run from here at 0 all the way to this point goes to 80. So it goes from 0 to 80. So we have a run of 80. Now, 60 over 80, what does that reduce to? We notice that 60 over 80 can reduce to 6 over 8, can also reduce to 3 over 4. If you can't remember some of your fractions, I know not everybody likes fractions, you can put that into a calculator. Using a scientific calculator that does fractions, it can help you reduce that as well. So the slope of this graph is 3 over 4.